Hi Flosstube, it's Lisa Smith, Kindred Stitcher. Today is June 2nd, and you have reached a channel about cross stitch and buying cross stitch and the things that I want to make that I haven't made. So welcome to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, it's nice to see you again. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am surprised that there's still new people out there in the world who haven't, they keep joining cross stitch every day. So it's thrilling, it's exciting, and I really enjoy meeting new people. So today I would like to talk a little bit about what's happened the last few weeks. There's a lot. It feels like every time I have a video, I'm like, what happened the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks? And I think, oh, geez, a lot happened. So if you don't know, if you haven't been to my channel before, we live in Oregon, and my husband is working on building us a house. We live in a tiny house, which is one room, and our shop has an interior room, which is where I am now, and it has our bed and living room furniture. So we basically live in 2 rooms. It works pretty good most of the time, but there are times when we have to negotiate, like when we're going to watch TV, and my husband wants to watch his YouTube channels and I want to watch my YouTube channels, and so we watch something completely different. The last time I had filmed, I think it was, or recorded I should say, was I believe the day before Mother's Day. So on Mother's Day I had a new start. I can't remember if I said that or not. I don't remember for sure if it was the day before Mother's Day. It seems like that might have been the case. But I had a new start on Mother's Day. And then the following weekend, we went to my friend Barb's house and helped her build a garden shed, which was awesome. It was a Costco kit, and it was beautiful when it was done. It went together very well made kit. So that was up in Portland, and that was almost all of Saturday. I probably stitched on Sunday. And then the following weekend was Memorial Weekend. We left early, we went camping, and we went to, so it was Friday we left, went to a camp area with a bunch of friends. It's dry camp. There's dirt biking all through there. So it's high desert, sagebrush, pine trees, juniper trees. Smells wonderful, but it is dusty. So I had very limited stitching. I did take my stitching. I stitched one day for a little bit, and I'll show you what I worked on. We were going to stay. So then after that, a couple days after that camping part, we traveled on to southeastern Oregon to Heart Mountain. My husband goes there, and one of my sons go there for the Order of the Antelope. I know, it's a thing. It's a conservancy group, and they have created a conservation area, refuge for antelope in that area. It's beautiful, but it is out in the middle of absolutely nowhere. And then so we camped there, and we we were going to go to look at some other sites, but the roads weren't open yet. They don't open until the middle of June. So we cut our trip short one day, came back early, took a shower. You know, when you don't shower for 4 days, oh my gosh, you have to wash your hair twice, and it feels like you need a shower twice. But we had a great time. I'll put some pictures at the end of the trip. And then also when we were down in southeastern Oregon, one of the things that we wanted to do was go to a sunstone mine. Sunstones are only located in southeastern Oregon. They are trapped in basalt. So when basalt, imagine like one of those extruders where they put a hamburger through it and it just, well, when basalt was formed, these gems were trapped like that in the basalt. And the basalt, which is very hard rock, eventually decays. It leaves the gemstones behind. So on top of the ground, there are gemstones. I know, right? Are you freaking out right now? So there's lots of them that are tiny, tiny. Some places they were like the size of a pebble, just the tiniest. And there was a bunch of them. It almost looked like sand. And there was tons of anthills too, by the way. But you just walked out. It was really open at that place. There was no trees. It was just all sagebrush. You could see a long distance, and we would just walk around and pick up sunstones. You could also dig there. You could go to a mine. There's a couple places that mine, and they would bring you buckets of dirt. And depending on where it was, it was more expensive or less expensive. You could dig on your own. But that was going to cost us at least $200 for us both to do it at the minimum. So we decided not to do that, because even if you found a great stone, then you'd have to have it faceted. then you'd have to have it made into something. So we were just about having a good time and messing around there. So I will show you a picture of those at the end. We ended up with like a whole bag. And what was fun is that as you're going around, you're looking, you pick one up, and then I was constantly looking for that. Oh, there's a big one, right? When you see a big one, you're like super excited. And they also, they're kind of a white, it almost looks like glass, some of them, or like sea glass. Some of them are more worn, some of them are less worn. And you could find some that had schiller. It's called schiller, and it's copper that's trapped inside the stone. So it gives it a pink look. And if you were to look under a microscope, you'd see little inclusions of dots of copper. Super interesting. And there was all shades and varieties. And so the darker stones are trapped deeper in the earth. So we didn't dig. My husband did a little bit, but we weren't going to do that. It's arbitrary. And so here's the thing. It was 4 square miles of open to the public. This is state ground. It's open to the public to go look for these sunstones. You could dig as long as you filled in your hole. You could dig wherever you wanted. So that was our Memorial Day weekend. And I will show you a little bit here. I can't think of anything else related to the other things that are going on. We're just waiting for the septic inspection and the entrance to our road inspection, and then my husband can put in for the permit. It just takes forever. I mean, if they say it's going to be 1 to 4 weeks, it's 4 weeks. So, any prayers that you want to give for expedited, process would be grateful. I'd be grateful for, but it is what it is. I just stitch, and stash, and one day I'll have a craft room again, and I'll be finishing all the things. So today I am going to talk with you about a couple whips and a finish. And I also want to talk about some channels that I've watched recently, and then some past finishes. So I haven't fully finished things for a while. It's just stacking up like cordwood, but that's okay. In the month of May, I had one piece that I really wanted to finish. And if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen it. It is Prize Your Liberty by Marilee Beams. This pattern is available through 1884 Stitchery. When I started this, it was a 2020, I think, Mania starts. So I did 31 starts in May. They were all patriotic. They weren't all, like, very few of them were really big. This is one of the bigger ones. Most of them were smalls. But I changed the colors and I finished it. So this had like this much as a start of this. And then I didn't like the color, so I took it out. So it's like I started it all over again in the month of May. It is so beautiful. It's one of I would say my top 5 things I've ever stitched. And I don't remember what the linen is. It might be like just antique ivory, Zweigart. It's a beautiful linen. There's no modeling. There's no overdyed. It's just a straight color. It is, I changed the colors. It is charted in DMCs, and I used overdyes or silks. And the red is I don't know what it is, thread, because I pulled it out of my bag of threads and there was no tag with it. So I was like, well, it's no big deal. It's a gorgeous red. It's really, really pretty. It looks like Turkish red from Weeks. And I had some others on my ring here that I had considered that I didn't use. So the question that I had on Instagram is, what is that blue that you use for the house? That is a Silks For You. They're navy silk. I'll tell you, Silks For You is the most underrated silk in terms of the volume of what you get for the price, and the colors are fantastic. It's really easy to work with. I didn't have any problems with it. The green, and this is all green. It looks on the chart like maybe a black, I'm not sure. But it's actually 930 and 931 is what it's called for. And I used Brethren Blue. It was a perfect match. I happen to have 2 Brethren Blues that are different shades. One is lighter and one is darker. You can kind of see here. Maybe you can't. Anyway, the lighter is the grass, and then somewhere else, maybe this border here. The rest of it's dark, the dark red and blue. And when I stitched it, and that's by Gentle Arts, I stitched a lot of the border and the trees and all of these plants. And I thought, I'm going to run out of the color, and maybe the dye lot's going to be the same. Maybe it won't be if I order another skein. Well, I looked in my stash, and I happened to have another red and blue, and it was the dark dye lot. So I was really grateful for that. So those two were my greens. The dark blue was, I thought it was Black Crow by Gentle Art. And the light blue was Blue Jeans by, I think it's Classic Colorworks. So this was a blast. I enjoyed stitching this. It was my focus piece for May. I was stitching like a mad woman and got it done, and I'm super happy. So that was my finish. I also started, and I don't remember if I showed you this last time, so I'm feeling like I should show you. This is Oh Sweet Humility by Cross Stitch Antiques. And my friend Celeste from Celeste Creates, she and some other friends started us out. I just piled on because this is something that I wanted to stitch. And I bought the kit from Kathleen Littleton. Like, oh my gosh, words, right? She had it with the called for vintage pecan butter, and I just have the teeniest little start. But I just want to make sure that I documented that I started it on Mother's Day. And I do have focus pieces that I'm working on every month this year because it's part of my whip plan. I don't know that I'm going to get down into the 20s for my whips because I keep starting things. Like I started this one, and that's not small. I do love a big project. Y'all know that. So it is what it is. I just absolutely love everything I'm stitching on and starting. So I have no regrets. And then once we got back from camping, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit all over the place here. And last time I feel like I rushed through because I was trying to get my Flosstube done. This is my June focus at home by with a needle and thread. What I could have worked on my Hawk Run Hollow, but I did not. It was my Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow, so I didn't do my May block at all. So I have to do May and June in June. And I just was always thinking about this one. This is the one I took camping with me, and which is crazy, right? I took my stand and I stitched in the tent, which was great. And I had a 5-year-old who was supervising me. She came over and wanted to, she was very curious about it, but we had a canvas tent, so it's a pretty big tent. And I had the door open, and I was just sitting in there in the entrance, which gave me good light. And she came over to talk to me about it, and she was enthralled. So I think next year when we go camping, I'll kit something up for her and work with her and teach her. She's very, I don't know, squirrely, so I don't know how much she's going to really want to do it. But she loved it, and she wanted me to give it to her when I was done. So I said, we'll see. I don't know. I love this one. And I've been thinking about it and wanting to work on it. So this is stitched on, I think it's just lentil. I thought it was vintage lentil, but it's just lentil by Lakeside. And the last time I have this folded over, so I do have plenty of fabric. The last time I showed you this, I had this bottom band done, and I had the grass done to here, the threshold, and the outline of the door, and a few bricks. And I think I had stitched the borders up to here, and that was it. So I got back, when I was camping, I stitched this fence over here, and that's all I got done. But we got back a day early, so you better know that I was stitching that extra day. I was super happy to have that day just to hang out and stitch. So I have been stitching on this one nonstop. The midway is about this flower over, so I'm coming up to about midway, and this is the bottom half. Here is a stitch heavy half, right? This is going to go pretty quick. So my goal is to have this done in June. I should not have a problem with that. And in fact, I just want to stitch on it all the time. I'm going to be sad when this one is done. The colors are fantastic on it. It does have a wintry, springish vibe to me because it's a little, there's leaves, but like the trees aren't real leafy trees. And I think about this. This is where I live is beautiful in the spring. There are grassy fields. So there's fields that look like lawn around here. And there's rolling hills and there's the mountains the snow is melting in the mountains. So there's runoff everywhere. And I think that if I were to go to this house, I would imagine you would go through this gate and maybe there's a little brook in the background and it's just humming along and it's a seasonal creek. The mountain snow is melting and that creek is grass on the bottom because it doesn't normally have water in it. But that just what reminds me of where I live. And that's why I look at this and think, oh, I bet that's got a quaint backyard. If I were to go through that gate, what would I see? So that is at home. I was looking at her pattern or her picture, and this is Cadet, which I love from Weeks. Hers looks very blue and mine looks green in person, but as I look at it on the camera, it looks bluer. So it's funny how those colors look different in a picture or where you're seeing my video versus what you see in person. But Brenda, she's got a way with color, that's for sure. So at home and Land and Prize Your Liberty, Oh Sweet Humility. I didn't work on my Hawkran Hollow, but I did start those in December. I did 2 blocks in December because I knew my goal was to have it like a block a month, and I'd like to have it done by the end of November. So even if I don't have it framed, I can just, pin it up on the wall and enjoy it for the holidays. Okay. Oh, and this was fun. I was missing a thread for my Oh Sweet Humility, and I just ordered it. And then I added it to my box. And this is one of those Tidy Made boxes. You can get a similar one by Guterman on Amazon. I just like looking at this. This is my first experience using 103, so I don't have much done. We'll see. The jury's still out whether or not I really love working with those. Now, let me talk a little bit about some floss tubes I've been watching. I watched Annie B, Belle, and Chelsea. By the way, I saw them at the Farm Girl Retreat, and they just crack me up. I really enjoy watching them, and they all had a lot of whips and some finishes. Belle had 2 finishes. So go check out their channel. I met Jessica, Sweetwater Stitcher, and she was at the Farm Girl Retreat. She's very sweet, very nice lady, and I would love to have sat at that table and chatted with them more, but, I was up and about chatting with other people too. I watch Holly from Mrs. Jones Stitches. I love her channel. Now, she has a lot of the things. She does a lot of Brenda Gervais. So, of course, I'm like glued to the TV when I'm watching her. So give her a look. And my friend Sean from Periwinkle Stitcher. So I met Sean at the Autumn Abundance Retreat last year. She's from Wales, and she flew in to the attic for that retreat. Her house is gorgeous, and she also stitches a lot of Brenda Gervais and Stacy Nash. So she's brand new. This is her first floss tube, so go check her out. Erin and Amity from the Hathaway Stitchers. They are sisters, and I think I've watched 2 of theirs. I'm going to sit down and see if I can watch more of them, but they have good chemistry because they're sisters, right? And then the last one is Jackie from Comfort Stitching, and I think a couple people have already shouted her out too. She was a stitcher, and then, like a lot of us, did other things. Life got in the way or changed, and she came back to stitching. And her first project when she came back was Consider the Lilies on 40 Count, which is exactly what I would do. And she changed a lot of the motifs because she's an artist, so she put like buffalo on there. She put some other things on there that look like where she lives, represents where she lives and her stories. So check out Jackie from Comfort Stitching. All right. I'm looking at my list here. My husband had me, he's out shopping, doing errands. He's like, text me when you're done. I was like, okay. So yesterday was cleanup day. And I'll tell you, he would rather do anything. In fact, I was reading a little blurb about, generally speaking, women feel just when they're disorganized and things are out of place and there's a mess, they feel stress from that. And men, generally speaking, the thought of cleaning it up is what gives them stress. And that's exactly the relationship that we have. So we have the rest of the shop has our personal items from our home. And my husband, the way when he works on projects, he likes to have a table and he just lays everything out. But he doesn't like to put it away. So there's just stuff everywhere. It drives me insane. And he built these beautiful tote structures for us, like a structure where you can slide totes in. I couldn't get to him. I'm like, look, I can't even get to my stuff. So yesterday we cleaned out we have a container box that was on the property also, and he built shelves in there, and we cleaned that out and cleaned out part of the shop. And so he was a trooper. We ran to the dump and took stuff to the dump, and he's going to finish looking through the totes that he puts like his greasy tools in the totes, and so every tote has grease on the bottom of it. I'm like, dude, don't do that. I can't reuse this. I can clean it, but it never really gets, it's not perfectly clean. So anyway, you don't care about that. So today we're going to work on, he's going to finish working on going through his totes. He said, I'll just go in the shop and be quiet if I get done with my errands before you're done. So I'm going to show you some previous finishes here. I have several that I pulled from the box of shame, things that I've been finishing but not fully finished. My fully finished are at my sister's house mostly. Some of them are up here. Some of them are in totes in the shop. Somebody asked me about a doll. They thought I had a doll in my background, and this is a bag actually. I made this at Crabapple Hill. I've been to a few of their retreats, and it was fun. She just had fabric that she had ripped and like strips, and you would get these 4 strips. I think we glued them on, and you made this rosette flower and glued that on. It was adorable. It was a great project. So I do have one more start planned in July, and this is going to be a Christmas start. I have another one that I've been wanting to start for years and years and years, but I don't know if I'm going to start it or not. For sure I'm going to start this one. I'm going to do the Fragments in Time 2023 by Summerhouse Stitchworks. And this is my very favorite Fragments in Time series that she has put out. I do want to stitch all of them, and I am going to stitch them with the border that she has available. If you go to her website, it is summerhousestitches.com, and she has several borders for each year. Well, she has one border per year, but I think they're all the same size from year to year, so you could pick any border that you want for your project. The one that she had designed for last year, and I am going to use it, is this one. You can stitch it this way too because they're square. But I am going to use this border, and I am going to put them in here. Now, I think I have about half the threads. I need to finish collecting the threads, and then I'll be ready to go in July. I have to find a fabric too, but I have plenty of fabric. I feel rambly today. All right, so you want to see some patriotic whips? Okay, let's go. This is Blue Ribbon Designs. Ooh, that kind of blew out. Blue Ribbon Designs, and it is, I think it's called Proud and True, but I can't remember for sure. I didn't pull the pattern out for this one. This was a lot of fun to stitch. This was also a Stitch Mania start, and it went really quickly because it's words mostly. This little house was fun to stitch, and these trees were too. They were a little bit fiddly, but really it's adorable. And I need to get that framed. You're going to hear me say that. This is a Brenda Gervais, and I want to say, I don't remember what this is called. It's one of the small ones, and I think it calls to stitch this over 1 on 28, and that's what I did. And look how tiny it is. Isn't that adorable? I will probably finish this as a mattress finish, I'm pretty sure. It would be a cute little stand-up, though, too. So there's that one. This is Little House Needleworks. And this is Pretty as a Peacock. As you can see, there are 2 adorable peacocks in there. Very patriotic peacocks. And I don't remember what the fabric is. I'm not going to remember the fabric on these. This is a You and I and Friends. And there were several specialty stitches on this. They kind of had this spiral rows. So there's a lot of dimension in this one. And I had this as scrap fabric. I want to say this is probably a 32. I probably stitched it. I think I stitched it with silk, so I probably just used 1. It's adorable. This is I don't know who designed this. And I finished it. My friend Stephanie, I sent her the pattern. This is finished as a banner. So I think this would be cute if you did finish it as a banner and made like a knob hanger. Something that just you could put anywhere. Probably going into a room. This is, I believe this is Paulette, and it's probably Bless Our Land. It says Bless Our Land. Isn't that adorable? I stitched this and showed it on my channel, and I was missing a flower, and a viewer told me, like, I think you're missing a flower, and sure enough, I was missing a flower. So I was able to get that corrected. Also, Paulette. I think this might have been a bowl series, like sampler bowl series. I don't remember the name of this one either. The reds in that one is fantastic. That gal walking her dog, so cute. This is henpecked by Paulette of Plum Street. Jeez, Plum Street Needleworks. Isn't that so sweet? I don't know if I think these are the called for colors, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh, here's another one. This is I think this is Summer House Stitchworks, I think. And it is a mattress finish pillow. And it has a little piece of wool on the inside. And this came as a kit. And I want to say this is probably 7 or 8 years old. The chart. It came out at Market, and it came out as a kit, and I was like, I need that. And she has some other ones in this same series. I don't know that they have any wool on them, but they're adorable. Some of these do have patterns with them. So the next one is Summer in Baltimore by Paulette. She does patriotic like nobody else. She is one of my favorites for patriotic stitching. And I have the box, and I understand it's not so hard to, and here's the pin cushion that goes in it, and here's the ticking that goes in the, in the box. I mean, the ticking was a dead-on match, dead ringer. You know, hopefully when my house is done, I'll be retiring at that time. Maybe even sooner, who knows. Then I'll sit down and finish these things. I think this is Brenda Gervais. Yes, Brenda's also got fantastic patriotic pieces. I think I picked out some potential backing fabrics to these. This is kind of cute, isn't it? Here's the 1776. Here's the, oh, I love this one. Here's the Ohio Star house. Everything that looks quilty, I'm in for it. Okay, this is I think this is Little House Needleworks. Oh, glory. It's stitched on lamb's wool. I had a piece of lamb's wool. I stitched something on it, and I hated it so much I threw it away. I think I threw away the rest of the fabric because it's just not for me. But this turned out really cute. And that could be a stand-up. It could stand up on its own. This is a heartstring samplery, and it's available now. It was a dime to stitch club piece. It's a needle roll. So I have the rest of the stuff. I stitched it in 2022. I have the rest of the stuff. I just haven't finished it. And earlier this year, if you saw my January or February, probably February video, this is Clustered Stars by Blackbird Designs. It was my first finish this year. And there, so on the inside of the book, there's a flag that goes in there. And I might just send this one out to be finished. I've got all the stuff. I don't know. I haven't decided. Are you with me still? Calico Confectionery. Isn't this adorable? I love 4th of July, you guys. You can tell it's my favorite holiday. Another Paulette. This is Summer Moon. Those colors. Oh, so luscious. Abby Rose Designs, Let Freedom Ring. This reminds me of that song, Let Freedom Ring. Yeah, this was a lot. That house was no joke. And I passed this pattern on. Another stitcher was looking for it and couldn't find it. So, and the last one is Stacy Nash, Summer at Hollyberry Farm. Oh, one of my favorite stitches also. The colors on this are magnificent. It's stitched on espresso by R&R Fabrics. And every time I would take it out of my bag, you could smell the coffee. It was just wonderful. I hope to send that one in and have it framed this month. We haven't even talked about haul yet. Oh, we're at half an hour. That's about right for me. I don't usually go too much longer unless it's a whip parade. So a little bit about haul. The Dime to Stitch Club piece came in. This is by Lottie Dot. It is beautiful. I would love to just sit down and stitch this one. I do have focus pieces though that I'm working on at home as my June focus. July and August, I'm going to focus on my Mirabilia, which is Florentina, and Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain, because I want both of those to be finished this year. They're 2018 starts. I'm whittling those down, reducing my cycle time. And then I've been on a kick, and I have been buying Mimic and Simpson patterns and fabric and kits. I showed you some stuff last time. Well, I bought some more because they're retiring, coming up. I love this pattern. It's adorable. It calls for this line of fabric, Wiscasset. And I'll have to substitute some of the colors in. I mean, I'll have to find different background fabric unless I can find it like on the secondary market. Look at this. Oh, I love it. So I bought that. When they sent the pattern, they sent me an extra one, which is this. Look at that. Isn't that not gorgeous? This will be beautiful also with laundry basket quilt fabric. I'm all about that. I bought this one. They do all red, white, and blue. And one sister is a quilter and one is a rug hooker. This one, Are You Not Dying? I love that one. And then this one, this is a big one. I mean, there's a lot. It's an applique. Big pattern. Then when I had missed my, I had my missing 103 for my Oh Sweet Humility. I ordered that from 1 through 3 stitch, and I didn't want to just order one, so I ordered. I bought this. This is by Three Sisters, and I can't remember what line it is. It is. Let me see if I can find it on the selvage. Hold on. Oh, please. Cascade. Cascade is the line. But isn't that just fabulous? Just gorgeous. Minnick and Simpson had wovens, so I bought a charm pack. No, is it a charm pack? It's a 5-inch square pack. And then the last thing the second to last thing I bought was Ridgeway. This is a couple of lines back. It's all taupes and whites and reds, but look at that print. Oh my stars, that's gorgeous. And then I bought a couple of books. So they have fantastic books full of eye candy. And they usually will have, so here's the first one, folk art, everyday folk art. They usually will have like a picture of a quilt and then a picture of a hooked rug, like here. So 2 ways, because I need another hobby, right? I need to start rug hooking. Can you imagine? My husband would be like, where are we gonna put that? Look at this one. A log cabin quilt with log cabins in it. Genius. And they do some wool applique as well. U.S. Navy. Everything is nautical, maritime. I mean, this is a life goal for me. I would love to have a cabinet full of red and white quilts. Oh, and this kills me. You could punch needle this for sure. Wouldn't that be fun? Just reduce the size, just take the pattern, reduce it, and put it on. Now I'd have to punch it and then, ooh, I could do that. Punch it and then cut it out and finish it around the edge and then hang it like on a dowel, or find a way to drop a couple hangers and then have some sort of a, 3 contact points and put it, maybe ribbons. Oh, I'm thinking all kinds of things now. Put it on a dowel. You guys, that's what happens. My brain goes crazy. Look at this. This is a Christmas one. Snow day quilt. Well, it's a snow day pattern. Look at that. Poor Vanessa Flame Fingers. She's like, I can't watch you anymore because she goes, I went out and bought a bunch of stuff. Because she also loves Minnick and Simpson. This if you like baseball. They do a lot of applique, but also I have another book where there's definitely pieced quilts that accompany really your applique quilts that gives you variety. Here's the second book. Oh my lands. Are you not dying? I cannot buy this fast enough. When I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a fantastic book. That border, that is something else. So there's pieces of look at this. You could just do one block and make that a wall hanging. Would be cute. There's another quilt in here I want to show you. This one. Okay, so I showed you a picture of it on the back. They're all cats, kittens, and they're embroidered. It's a Victory Day type of a celebration, but look at the piecing on that. Isn't that gorgeous? And then this little, it looks like piping. No, that's the binding. The wall is all the same color in the background, but that's a clever, like, candy striped binding around it. This is adorable. Adorable. I think that's what I wanted to show you. Ooh, look at this. Are you ready to go buy this now? Boy, I'm telling you. Look at this one. This looks like a blackbird, doesn't it? That would go with the one. Oh, several people have showed it. It doesn't have a dark background, but it has a light background. It's got that big, beautiful red flower in the middle. Eagles. Genius. Sometimes I watch these things, I look at these things and I think, what am I doing with my life? I need to hurry up and get more stuff done. Anyway, I'm just jabbering now. I will probably see you, let's see, what's today? I'll probably see you in 2 weeks. I have a little something planned. I'm on vacation the third week in June. And then I think I don't have anything planned until August, and I have a family reunion. So it's that time of year where everyone's on vacation. So I have to hurry up and get stuff done before I go on vacation, then hurry up and catch things up when I get back. And then my peers are doing the same thing. So we're covering for each other. And but I work with great people, so I'm happy to do it. That is all I have today, and I appreciate you for sticking with me this long. I hope you have a great June, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. I'll put some photos at the end here of going to Eastern Oregon if you're interested. Take care. This is Rockhound Todd checking through the spoils of the rock pit.
Marking our location so we don't get lost.
There we go. Somebody dug for sunstones, and we don't know when. It is all sagebrush for as long as you can see, and when you're picking up sunstones, I'll show you what they look like when I've got them all washed up. This is our campsite. It's going to be awesome.